Federation versus Freedom by Baba Sahib Ambedkar. 8. Part 2. The autonomy of these states means that each one must take upon itself the responsibility to supply its subjects all the services which relate to matters falling under law and order, such as revenue, executive, and judicial, and all the services which affect public welfare, such as education, sanitation, roads, etc. We in Bombay, with our 12 crores of revenue, are finding it difficult to maintain a civilized standard administration. Other provinces with equally large revenue are finding the same difficulty. How then can these small, tiny states, with revenue of a few hundreds and a population of a few thousands, cater to any of the wants which a civilized man must have his government satisfy in all full measures? With the best of motives and given an ideal prince, the task is hopeless. The only way out is to reorganize the whole area occupied by the Indian states. The proper solution would be to fix an area of a certain size and a certain revenue and to constitute it into a new province and to pension out the rulers now holding any territory in that area. Only such states should be retained, in whose case, by measure of area and revenue, it can be said that they, by reason of their resources, are in a position to provide a decent standard of administration. Those which cannot satisfy the test must go. There is no other way. This is not merely what might be done. I say to do this is our duty and a sacred duty. I know some will think of the hereditary right of the prince to rule over his territory. But I ask, what is more important, the right of the prince or the welfare of the people? I am sure that even the best friends of the states will not say that the rights of the prince are more important than the welfare of the people. Which should give way if the two are in conflict? There again, I am sure that even the best friends of the states will not say that the welfare of the people should be sacrificed for the sake of maintaining the rights of the prince. The question of the reorganization of the Indian states is not a political one. As I look at it, it is purely an administrative question. It is also an inevitable question, because not to tackle it is to condemn the people of the states, and there are millions of them, perpetually to a life of misery and security. The way I suggest is not a revolutionary way. To pension off a prince and to annex his territory is a legal way and can fall under the principles with which we are familiar under the Land Acquisition Act, which allows private rights and properties to be acquired for public purposes. Unfortunately, the question of the Indian states has not been tackled from this point of view so far. The question that I want to place before you is, and it is a very important question, will it be open to you to tackle this question after the federation is established? I say no. You will perhaps ask why. How does this conclusion follow? I have already pointed out that with regard to the entry into the federation, the provinces and the states stand on a different footing. The provinces have no choice. They must agree to be the units of the federation. The states have a choice. They may join the federation or they may refuse to join it. That is so from the standpoint of the provinces and from the standpoint of the states. What is the position from the standpoint of the federation? Has the federation any choice in the matter of the administration of the states? Can the federation refuse to admit a state into its federation? The answer is no. The federation has no right to refuse. The state has a right to enter the federation, but the federation has no right to refuse admission at any rate for the first 20 years. That is the position. Now, what does the admission of a state into a federation mean? In my view, the admission of a state into the federation means recognition of the sovereign status of the state. Recognition of its sovereign status means the recognition of its indestructibility, which means its right to the integrity of its territory and to guaranteeing of its powers of internal administration. This would even apply to the state with a population of 20 and 7 and a revenue of rupees 80. These being the implications of the administration of a state in the federation, I am perfectly justified in suggesting that the territorial reorganization of the Indian states will not be possible after the establishment of the federation, and the people of the Indian states will be forever doomed to misrule and maladministration. The end.